Hello, everybody. God bless you. We are really excited about Lifeline, true story. We are talking about the truth, and today I have an amazing guest for you. Not only is this a podcast that's going to bring you revelation, it's going to increase your health, it's going to increase your life, and this is the podcast that many people have been asking me to do, to talk about health, and we haven't gotten into it very much this year, but I went to go see my iridologist. And you may be saying, what's an iridologist? Well, you're about to find out what an iridologist is, but what he discovered shifted my life. About a year ago, I was introduced to Dr. Keith Richardson, and Jovi, that there's this man and you have to meet him, New Body Nutrition, and he can tell you everything about your body by looking in your eyes. I'm like, looking in my eyes? I'm like, I heard about it, but I actually had this done. Now, you guys, what's so amazing before I actually turn it over to him? Listen, I had been to the regular doctor. I had been to my physician, and then I went to my naturopath doctor. I took the gut test, and now here I was sitting and I did my regular blood test. I'm sitting in front of the man that's looking in my eyes, and he can tell me everything that they've already told me by looking in my eyes, but he also told me the things that they did not see. He said, you're feeling a little pain in the back, your lower back left side. I was like, yeah. He was like, you know what that is? I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this man is amazing. And so that was when I said, I better take his advice. And when I come back, I bet those things he sees, I won't see anymore. And sure enough, I came back a year later, and the things that he had seen, down to like fibroids, some cysts, something was forming in my breast and in my back that could have been kidney stones. Within that year, all of those things were completely gone. Wow. And so I had to bring to you the most amazing iridologist in Los Angeles. And he is when you say health, he knows his stuff. I want to introduce to you Dr. Keith Richardson.
Thank you. I don't have enough money to pay for all of that.
Yes. How are you today?
I am excellent. I am I'm excited to be here. I wasn't expecting that introduction, though.
Go ahead. Let's talk about that introduction.
But the thing is, this path that I've been doing now, I'm an iridologist for the last 29 years, which is also ND, which is naturopathic. And iridology is a system that's been in place for over 1,500 years. Basically, it's a science practice study of the iris. Our eyes are connected to every part of the body, so is the back, the hands, and your feet. But the eyes gives a blueprint of what's going on with you.
A blueprint.
It gives you a blueprint. It tells a story. And see, not only us, but there's different other segments of people that use the same eyes, which is law enforcement. They check to see what type of drug you're on. When you go to the Western medicine, they check for death signs. So the eyes is connected. So when God put this in place, it's basically foolproof. So a person can tell you something, but them eyes is always going to tell the truth.
Wow, the eyes are always going to tell the truth.
Right. So,
how did you get, when you were, you're a native of Los Angeles.
Correct.
You went to college in Texas. Mm-hmm. Then you came back to LA. But when you were growing up in LA, were you always interested in health all of your life? Or what was the journey that took you to this place?
Not even close.
Not even close?
I actually wanted to be a United States Marshal.
You did?
I wanted to shoot people.
Ah!
But the thing was, I kept failing the test by 2 points.
Wow.
So every 90 days, you got to take the test again.
Yeah.
And so out of 2.5 years, I weighed about 250 pounds and depressed, woe is me, why is me thing, that whole scenario. And so I was introduced to a naturopathic doctor to help me with my self-esteem, get the weight off.
Okay.
And he saw something in me that what I didn't see.
So a naturopathic doctor saw something,
Yeah,
and so you went to the naturopathic doctor. He saw something. You were just like, I don't want to be depressed anymore. I need to get my health together, and that was where you found out that.
Well, he told me, he said, you need to look for what you want, think about going into health more than shooting people. So I said, you know what? He said, I want you to go to school. Just check out the school.
Yeah.
In Houston, Texas. And if you don't like it, just come on back and I'll help you.
Wait, he saw something in you, and he suggested that you go to school to learn what he does.
And I'm going like, I don't know what he saw to this day.
You still don't know?
I still don't know.
Really?
What he saw in me.
He was a prophet, huh? He prophesied your future.
Now, 29 years later and over 10,000 patients later, I'm still doing it.
Wow. Yeah. So when you went to school, did you start seeing that you had like a gift or a knack for health, or what did you start to see?
Actually, I decided to do it, but the thing about it was sealed the deal was I had a person that came to me that had diagnosed with like 3 weeks to live.
3 weeks to live.
Yeah, and so I just only had been doing it for less than 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
Going into what I do. So, make a long story short, I asked God, I said, you're going to have to help me with this one. And so, the person actually is still living. And so what happened was that God places the instruments, the knowledge, told him what to do, and so from that point, that basically solidified the deal. This is what I wanted to do.
Wow!
Because it was something. See, the thing
like
about it was
you're saving lives,
right? So the thing was, it was something that money could not buy.
Ooh, come on now!
Because when you you can't buy this with money. So,
no, you can't.
So that feeling that came over, I was able to help someone with God's help to save this person's life. That basically sealed the deal for me to start doing it forever.
Wow,
So,
I love that.
so.
The feeling of saving somebody's life. And literally, I just know from my own personal experience, I started doing health years ago. Being an athlete all my life, that was like one thing. But then after I had children when I was in my 30s, as opposed to when I was in my 20s, my weight didn't fall off as fast. And I just noticed like I was sluggish and I didn't feel like I smelled the same. Like I felt like there was toxins in my body, right? And I'm not releasing them anyway. So I started doing this health and wellness, and I was like, God, I can't take a year to get 65 pounds off. I need the fastest way to get this off. And the Lord showed me, eat this, do this, and drink a gallon of water a day, blah, 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 and the body will flush the toxins out, and I started studying like crazy. I became really, really good at it, and then I remember when I went through a divorce, and I had given up my everything, my six-figure income, and my houses and everything. Here I was stuck trying to figure out, like, how am I going to take care of my 5 kids? And I had a 1- and 2-year-old, and I'm like, help me, Lord. Well, I had started exercising people, but I saw this little center, and I was like, that could be my business. And before I got to a corner, this prophet called me on the phone that I met on a radio station like years before and said, the Lord told me to tell you, go back. That place you saw is yours. And to this day, I still have that place, which is crazy. But I'm like, what are we going to do? He's like, you're going to start helping people lose weights of life. They're going to think it's just weight loss, but it's the weights of life. You're going to change their life. You're going to give them hope. And I was like, okay. And I'd been helping quite a few people, but I lost 65 pounds in 65 days. And all these muscles were underneath all that fat. And it was like, it was so crazy because the more people I helped, I found that, and I started studying, of course. And as you already know, but the people who are listening is white blood cells can rejuvenate themselves in like 51 days. They rejuvenate about 51 days of rejuvenation completely. And then they have the red blood cells, which is about 90 days, I think it is.
Yeah.
Correct me because you're the expert and I'm just the student here. And so within those days, they couldn't have any sugar. It was only certain vegetables, certain fruits, and then the protein was like a certain smaller amount, a small portion, like 3.5 ounces, not even twice a day. And the juicing, I added the juicing in it and all these different things. And literally, people are like, well, I'm eating all day. Are you sure? Like, I'm going to drop the weight? I said, trust me, tomorrow you'll have a pound gone. For men, it'll be about 2 pounds gone. Every day, it wasn't just taking the weight off, but the toxins were leaving. Correct. And so I had someone whose body, they were type 1 diabetic, which means, that your body's not producing insulin, and it hasn't. And she's had a pump since she was 10 years old. Her body started producing insulin. I was giving them alkaline water and all these different things. So now, to me, it would be having me crying in my office, like when they're telling me I came off of my medication. I don't have diabetes anymore. I don't have cholesterol issues, and I don't have what's the other one? Cholesterol, diabetes, and one other I can't think of right now, but high blood pressure. And so my grandma at the time was like 80 something, and she lost 30 pounds in 30 days. She came off all 8 medications.
Yes.
And she's 94 now. And she's 94 and still like going to Tai Chi classes and all this stuff, right? And so that was when I'm helping my grandmother extend her life, and I'm helping people. I think I know a little snippet of what you felt, because I'm not where you're at by any means, but I saw the abilities of how I can transform and change somebody's life. And I loved what I did, and it fed my children and put them through college. It helped me to take care of my family. But I knew I had found what God wanted me to do. And I do it still as a pastor. It's like I just give you the food to eat. You eat it. As long as you eat it and you follow directions, the weights of life will fall off. So what you did with me when I came to you was so amazing. When I first saw the pictures and you put my eyes next to each other, you began to explain, you see this ring? I was like, what's that ring? I can see a light ring. He's like, that's too much salt in your body. I was like, oh, you have enough salt in your body for like 6 years. So you tell them, I don't know if you actually remember that day, because you just saw me again recently.
I saw you recently.
But do you remember that day? You told me about my back. You told me about some fibroids. You told me about all these things, something in my breast. You're like, take partially for that. Oh, and you gave me some of your products. They're in my desk now. Like, I keep them. I ordered like 3 of everything right then, and I took what you said. I came back, and those things that I had, I even went to the doctor, and they were like, oh, the fibroids that were 5 centimeters are now well under 2. We don't even need to see you. They're almost, and this one's gone. It's not even here anymore. We don't even need to see you back. And the pain I had felt in my back, which was like, I had too much beats, and I guess kidney stones were trying to form and some different things, and that completely went away. But I just took you gave me 3 things to take, and you were like, any parasites in your stomach and different things. And literally all those things shifted in my life. So I wanted you to tell them what you saw. You can use me as your patient. Here, I'm giving you full disclosure to talk about my information, my medical information here.
You sure want me to put that out like that?
100%. I don't mind that. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, no. It was good to me, but you saw it by looking in my eyeball.
You sure you want me to put that out like that?
It's all good. It's gone now. Those things are gone now, so it don't matter. Because everybody thinks like, oh, you just pray and everything's gonna be fine. I'm like, prayer is wonderful. We need that. You having God is everything. But you have to take care of your temple.
Yeah, faith without works.
Huh?
Faith without works.
Faith without works is dead. Like, you cannot just be like, I know some people are like, God's going to take care of it. And I'm like, yeah. God's going to take care of it. But you're eating, like, drinking all this soda. You're drinking Coca-Cola. You're eating bad. And now you're saying God's going to take care of your body. That's not, You're not exercising. You're not relieving the the body of any toxins. Like, you're not doing anything to help. You're not in the sauna. You're not.
So one of the things that I hear a lot of Christians say, they say, well, I'm not going to claim it. And first of all, it has already have claimed you.
It has claimed
so
you.
You can not claim it. It's already there.
Well, say that again. He said that Christians say you're not going to claim it, but it's already claimed you.
So you can claim it if you don't want to. See, people don't understand is that the clock is still ticking. Whether you make a move or not, that clock is still going to tick.
Wow.
So whether you decide to make a decision to change or not, or disavow it, or say, well, I'm not going to claim it, that clock is still ticking. And that time is gone. And you're never going to get it again.
Jesus.
And unfortunately, I've had a lot of people with that clock ticked out.
You told me a statistic. You said out of, I don't know, it was like, not. You said out of, did you say 900 people in a year or something? You said only 6 people will follow the instructions given. And he comes back and he sees a change in that area that he told them would be changed.
I had, for the people of 2024,
okay,
I saw the people for 2023 and 2024.
Yes.
These are the follow-ups. So I had 179 people that came to me, did they follow-ups.
Yes.
So out of that 179, only 6 made a change.
Do you hear that?
And so we got to understand is all the different excuses, they are crazy. So they decide whatever they wanted to do. But the thing is, and they came back some 10, 20, 40% worse.
Jesus.
Because they understood and said, well, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm eat a little bit here, just put my baby toe in it. I'm not going to just eat. But see, again, things become aggressive. See, there's no 2 people on the planet the same.
Right.
So everybody's going to get everything differently at different levels because there's no 2 people eat alike. So in that case, guess what? Sometimes it can be very more aggressive. And that's reasons why that I have certain things I tell people not to eat at all.
Right.
Because,
you told me some stuff not to eat.
I said that.
I came back and my team, Cassie does about my food, and I was like, no chicken.
Yeah.
No cheese. No white products. No this. I'm going into, I came back, no. I was like, and get rid of, what? The red 40, those gummy bear, those things that were giving me some parasites, whatever. I was like, no, I know I like them. I said, I had a whole dream that I was throwing them in the trash can. I dreamt about it. I was like, I woke up, I was like, get rid of them, all of them.
See, one of the things is that I tell everyone, there's 3 things that you can link any health issue to, and that is mucus, parasites, acid.
Mucus, parasites, and acid.
So any type of health problems that a person may be occurring and have,
yes,
you can link any one of those 3 to that.
So let's talk about that, because I remember, of course, reading a lot of Dr. Sebi's information, and I saw where he went and he fought the courts and proved the things. And they don't like you to say the word cured. They hate that word. They want you to say it. I was a pharmaceutical rep, and I used to rep pharmaceutical drugs. And it was true that if a doctor offered you anything, if you had cancer other than chemotherapy or radiation, that they could lose their license or get fired, something to that nature. Mm-hmm. And they weren't allowed to offer a holistic approach to healing the body. And so here's Dr. Sebi, and he's proven to the courts with documented evidence, and that literally HIV and all, whether it be even herpes, sickness, illness, cancers, all these things have removed themselves from the body. Mm-hmm. And restoration down to erectile dysfunction and any type of mental stresses, depression, hair falling out, alopecia. Like there was so many things, and it was linked to these things. And what I was shocked is that what you're saying right now, he said, mucus. Too much mucus in the body. Can you break that down a little bit on those three things and what we can do to begin to improve our health and being aware of how they're affecting us? I think, and I'll just say to you, every one of you guys goes to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, they give you, there's like a chart and it has, purple, blue, green, orange, yellow. It's a strip. And you think they're like, can you go to the bathroom and urinate? They're taking the measurements to see where your acidic levels are in your body or where your pH levels are. If they're towards blue and purple, that's healing. Alkalinity is purple. If you're going on the other side, which is going to be majority of your waters, all of your sodas. Oh, soda is the worst. Sodas, all kinds of acid, that's acid in the body. So an old person that falls and gets a cut, it may take months to heal or it may not heal at all. Why? Too much acid in the body. But a baby, you cut a little baby, you look back, it's like Wolverine. It grows right back. Within a day, it's already healed. Yeah. The bones will heal right back. And so why is that? Because the baby is born, it hasn't been exposed to a bunch of acidosis. And so it has the healing, the alkalinity. The baby's born alkaline, so it just heals real fast. When you're a kid, heals real fast. You're running, you're playing, you're putting all the toxins out. So by the time, you see kids, they're fat, you see they're overweight, you see that they're because the foods of what we're eating and we're consuming is killing, and the body can't fight all the time. It's designed to fight, but you got to give it what it needs to be able to do what it's designed to do. And we were designed to heal ourselves. God made us to be able to heal ourselves. But if you don't eat the right things, your body is not going to have what it needs to fight back. And I believe that's what you're doing and you're helping people with. I hope I said all those things right.
That's right.
I'm doing a little bit. I'm at 5% to your 95.
You got more than 5%.
So help us with that. Mucus, acid, and what else?
Mucus, acid, and parasites.
Parasites.
Mucus is one of the major because everything attaches to mucus. So when there's a list of foods, which I get in trouble for because a lot of people love these things to eat. These are the major things that creates the mucus, that creates the cancers and reproductive issues, also respiratory issues. And so especially any type of dairy, any type of chicken product, any type of white rice pastas, and oatmeal is a household name, which you should never eat that. That's extremely detrimental to the respiratory system. Anything wheat is extremely detrimental to the respiratory system.
Why in the hospital when people are sick, when they bring foods in, they're bringing all those foods in?
Because the thing is they go by what these dietitians. See, a dietitian only goes by the quote-unquote what the Sacramento, basically what the government says, like the 4 food groups, which is, I don't know who came up with that idea. But the thing about it is that none of those foods are healing.
Yeah.
And see, you understand when you in a hospital, that's an artificial area, so there's no healing in there.
Yeah.
And then you have the food that takes away, there's no more healing. So there's no healing at all. So where you're in the environment plus the food. So all the food that you're getting in there is mucus or acid.
Somebody online just said, "Oh Lord, that's my whole refrigerator." It's "Oh Lord, that's my whole refrigerator."
Yeah. So I recommend to stay away from any mucus-forming food, especially during this time of the year period, especially when it's cold, because the mucus that flies. Believe it or not, a person sneezes, that goes to a whole nother level. It goes about at least 6 feet. And so now it goes into the bronchioles and create bronchial issues, which leads to respiratory issues, which then now the person can catch anything. See, once anything enlarges in the bronchioles, your body is susceptible to get anything.
Jesus.
Anything, because this is the incubator, the bronchioles.
Really?
Not the lungs, it's the bronchioles.
Wow.
So that's the reason why they was doing those COVID, so they stick that thing down there to the bronchioles.
Jesus.
And so that's how they'll be able to detect. But that's reasons why you have to stay hydrated and you got to stay mucus free as much as possible. This is how you stay healthy and keep the body more alkaline and keep mucus out. And one of the things that people understand that can fight off cancer the most, and guess what that is? Movement.
Movement.
Just move.
Move.
Just exercise.
Exercise and movement.
Just move every day.
You know, you have so he has a wellness center, you guys, and this is the most awesome. I said, when I try to take some of my spiritual kids to, just to celebrate them, I said, we're going to come to your center. Yeah. And we're just going to go. It has all, first of all, he's got, and there was oxygen in there.
Oxygen bar.
The oxygen bar. Like, this oxygen bar. Like, look, some people at the alcoholic bar, we had the oxygen bar, okay? So, oxygen bar. And watch this, guys. There was like this machine. And what's so funny is, majority of the stuff you had, I had to be spanked.
Huh.
The shake machine, I have one in my garage, and I've never used it. And then you had the compressing machine that compresses. I don't know what it's called.
Lymphatic massage.
The lymphatic massage.
Yeah.
And just by pressing the body, it begins to release toxins. And Jordan was like, "Yeah, we have one of those at the house." I was like, "We do." And then you had the built-in. Oh, I love that built-in the sauna. The sauna, and then the infrared sauna, and then there was like, I was just sitting there looking like, oh my goodness, like. People can be sick and have what they need right there in their own house and just not be using it. You have a choice. You can be doing something to help. And it was like I was looking in your facility, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, we could all just come and rotate and have the whole health day and restore our body. And I love that you actually have a center where people can come in Linwood. And New Body Nutrition, and it's a center, and it's like a healing center, and it's really amazing, you guys. It's really awesome. So if someone wants to get rid of mucus, you said movement.
Yes.
What else?
One of the things is they got to move. And one of the things, especially, let's deal with the United States. People don't like to move, and don't see not just exercise, but just movement. Well, if you have any couple of joint issues or any issues, just get up and move, sit up and down, squat.
You see the Asian people, like the old Asian people, they're walking and they're doing these little
moving.
exercises after eating.
Because what that does is makes the body fight off anything that's trying to settle. See, what makes things settle is because you don't move.
Oh, my goodness.
You're not moving, it's sitting there.
You remember the movie, I don't know if you saw, well, I have kids, so I have to watch like kids' movies, but back in the day, but WALL-E. In the movie WALL-E, as things were evolving, you see all the presidents, and they're getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter, but their technology is building. So now you see this machine bringing them a Coke. They're moving people around. Nobody's moving. They have to sit in a pod, and if they want to go somewhere, it just takes them. Like, so no one's moving, so their bone density is completely like off, and everybody's fat. And so nobody has done anything. So everyone is fat, and in the end, they go back to like planning foods and living where they get rid of all these machines, and like you see the people, they're letting them know that like you're gonna get healthy again, but it's gonna take a while for you. You just have to move.
As a quick story, as a family had their grandmother was bedridden,
right?
And so they called me. They said, "Well, we can't bring her to you because she's in the bed. So, but what can we do?" I said, "Does the bed move?" I said, "Roll her outside and sit her in the sun."
Yes.
And I said, like a rotisserie chicken, every 30 minutes, rotate her in the bed. You rotate her. So every 30 minutes, they would move her and move her. Within 3 hours, she had sat up and I got out the bed.
Come on.
Just because, just the sun. See, people don't understand is that there's a lot of pollution out there, but you got to understand God has also put elements out there for healing.
Come on.
So the thing is, by her taking her out the house,
Yes.
sitting out there in that sun, it re-stimulated everything. It goes to the skin, which is the largest organ, and stimulated the whole body.
Yes.
And whole lymphatic system. So basically it came back to life. So within 3 hours, they called me. She said she's sitting up and ready to get out the bed. Versus she was in that bed almost 6 months.
Wow.
So you gotta understand, and people don't understand just doing the basics. And that is one of the things as this generation, as we getting away from the basics.
Yeah.
And the basic is just movement. Because
Movement.
Back in my day, which was a long time ago, that we was required at gym we had to move. We had to, gym class, we had to run.
PE was mandatory.
We had to run and move. And so the thing is that when I was coming, maybe it was 10 fat kids in the whole school.
Yeah.
So now it's changing. So
If that.
What you need to do is when you are feeling sick, feeling down, sit outside, go outside. Catch the first sun, catch the sun when it goes down. Stay hydrated, meditate, and you'll start seeing your body come back to life. Now keep in mind, I haven't gave those person not one herb or nothing else. I just told them, sit her outside.
Right.
So we ain't even did know anything.
Nothing
with food,
else.
Just doing that. And that's why I said people understand if you just get back to just the basics, that will get you on the right track. And then from that, you start doing the food combining, start eating the right foods together. And then from that point on, you keep graduating where now the body's now reversing the aging process, the healing. And so now, no matter what a person's health issue was going on out there in the world, has nothing to do with you.
Right.
That ain't your business. Because your body is where it's supposed to be, at the level it's supposed to be. So no matter who have or what anyone has nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So after we've got moving, then what? So we start moving, and we want to get mucus out of the body.
So then now,
What do we do?
So after that, stop eating all the mucus-forming foods. Then we start juicing. And one of the things that I told the persons to do is pick 2 days out of the week. One day, just do a juice day.
Uh-huh.
And then another day, going to do a raw day, which is just doing salads and fruits that day. And then the other 5 days, you're going to do a 25-75. 25% meat and 75% vegetables, or 25% carbs and 75% vegetables.
One of our viewers asked, what about when it's cloudy? So like I came from Oregon, which it rains 70% out of the year, which also has the highest rate of depression because it's so rainy and it's very gloomy there. So what would you say to someone who, I think you have beds too at your place?
Yeah, so
too.
like the infrared beds, just like a person, if you come in, like I think in Seattle, a lot of these places that it's rain all the time.
Yes.
So I recommend this. You can also get infrared saunas in your house. Where that
Now they have the bags you can get in, or you mean like those?
the infrared sauna itself. They got them portable ones you can put in your house.
Yeah.
You can get them on Amazon now.
Yeah.
And just sit in it so it can re-stimulate the body. And they have different infrared lights you can stimulate yourself inside your home, where you can still get some of the same healing with the infrared lights.
That's good.
So when you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of sunlight, this is your next option. But still, even in the house, you still need to move.
Yeah.
Regardless. So when you get out there, you still need to move. People don't understand that one of the most important systems in our body is our lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system is everything. It is your immune system, because there's no immune system. Your lymphatic is that. It's your defense system. It's your Navy SEALs, your Army, your Marines. It's your everything. Your thyroid, your thymus gland, all these glands, whatever virus is out there, what it does, it goes out there and attacks the virus so the body won't get it.
Wow. So the lymphatics, you're saying when you begin to clean and move movements, you're cleaning the body, the lymphatic system then begins to drain the toxins out, and then your body begins to fight
off anything. Because see, there's 3 ways in which how we eliminate waste. We pee it out, do number 2, and then we sweat. That's the lymphatic system.
Which is why you told me to like even for myself to do the either the not the jacuzzi, the jacuzzi,
no,
but
the dry sauna or
dry
the infrared sauna. The wet sauna, the steam is mostly for breathing, helps with the respiratory.
Yeah.
But the dry sauna and the infrared is for the lymphatic system to help for your body to get rid of the toxins.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that people don't understand that makes us sick, is when your lymphatic system is stopped up, that means everything is just in there, nothing's leaving. That means everything's going in, but your body's swelling from the inside out.
Yes.
And so now here comes the toxicity, the buildup, the fats, and everything else that comes along with it. And so now when you go out into an environment where there's other types of viruses and everything, now you're just incorporating more and more and more. So there has to be a stop. So that means this needs to start with you by first starting changing you. And that is, first of all, stop eating. And then just juice water fast for a minute. Only time I recommend a water fast if you're doing it for religious purposes. But outside of that, you should do something with juice and water in the herbs itself, so your body can get rid of the toxins. And then sweat at the same time. And then on that other end, move.
Move. Amen.
You do these basic things, you'll see your body do tremendous changes almost overnight.
Wow.
Almost overnight.
That's awesome. Well, I know when I first came to you, I was having a hard time. Like, I couldn't even smell for the longest. I think there's too much milk. I found out, this is so crazy, you guys. Through prayer, the Lord revealed to me, said, get a pre and probiotic. So I looked up this organic pre and probiotic that worked. I read through all these things, and I ended up with these two. And so I started taking them. And what was so crazy is immediately my nose stopped running. My nose was running constantly for like 6 months. Like, I couldn't understand it. And then I come to find out, I was like, I'm like, okay, well, as soon as he told me to start doing that, that started helping me too. But then I found out that the drainage of mucus was coming here. But also, I went to go get the poop test. And I was like, in my gut, it's in my gut, because that's whatever is going on in my gut is now affecting my nasal passage. So a lot of people are getting these surgeries, but they're not getting to the root of the problem. Because I talked to a doctor, and he wanted to say, oh, you can't really breathe good. Let's do these pile-ups with it. I mean, used to come over all the time, and we used to have, it was all the time. I could not really breathe. It was affecting my life. And literally, it had to do with my gut and mucus. So people get these surgeries. They're like, oh, we can do this for X $5,000 when we can take some pileups out, and they're saying this stuff and everything. And then by the time I made the appointment, I had already prayed about it, and God told me what to do during that time. And so when I got there, they were like, well, whatever you're doing, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're fine now. And I was like, wow, how many people don't know that what you're dealing with, you could have fixed it. And that was around that time the Lord sent me over to see you. And I was like, okay. And you gave me instructions. And I told you, I said, I'm going to do what you're saying. 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 And I literally, it's following instructions, and, it's a choice. So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to not eat your favorite foods and different things. But even like you were talking to me about the body having the ability, the fruit juices and different things will change your taste buds. And you can begin to like and crave different things that you never thought that you would like. Oh, I don't like that. Trust me, you can learn to like things you didn't think you would ever like.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing.
It's amazing.
That what you said about the surgeons and $5,000.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, you could have came to me for $18.
Right.
You could have gave me $18, and I could have fixed that.
Seriously.
For $18.
I
you could have took the
suffered.
rest of the 4,000 so much change, and could have done on vacation somewhere, and just gave me $18. I would have gave you a bottle of Congestone.
And they wanted to. Okay,
took care of that.
You gave me some of his. We're going to talk about some of his herbs, but they worked. But what was so crazy, you guys? They wanted to give me shots, injections, prednisone, steroids. Literally. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. So I went to God finally. And he's like, you need to do this, this, this. And then I started getting in the sauna bed, and I started getting rid of like 600 calories in 30 minutes. I got one off of Amazon, and I started getting in there, and I just get out and there's sweat all over the place, and I was like, oh, this is gross. I jump in the shower, and then I was like, oh, but I felt better, and so with you you mentioned water, the importance of water. But before I jump into water, I want you to just to tell some of the people some of the things that you have seen people, their health reverse, some of the things that they've had. Because literally, you guys, this is really amazing. What he does saves lives. What he does and the knowledge he has, this thing for me. I went to go see him recently, and it was like I had this whole revelation. Like, what are you gonna do when the people of his era are gone? What are we gonna do? How many of you are learning these things? Years of learning these things. What are you gonna do? You just have medicine left, and and those things don't really treat the symptom. So I was like, I have to get you to come and I have to talk to you because you have information that we need.
What's amazing is because I'm just going to let me just stay over this California, this here. When they heard me say that, okay, the top cancer-causing foods on the planet, and when I told them that chicken is number 1, cheese is number 2, shellfish is number 3, coffee is number 4. What? Sugar is number 5. And so I haven't got to the other traditional foods that they say. These are the top. And then sushi is right there with the shellfish. So if you want cancer, you are guaranteed to get it with these. It is a guarantee. It's going to happen. Later, now, whenever. So when I take those away from the masses, they go, what's left? I just took away about 4 or 5 things. There's 5,000 other foods to eat. I took away less than 5 categories. It's not other foods to eat. I didn't say if you just want to eat something that died, you could there's other animals you can eat if you just want to eat that. I said those major ones. Then I said stay away from cheese, lung cancer, breast cancer, any type, all come from cheese, fibroid tumors, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, prostate issues, all from cheese. And then you have chicken, which is the major it is the godfather of the cancers. So you eat this, you're going to get mucus and acid and parasite. So you're getting 3 in 1.
Jesus.
So when I tell a person, they say like this, but I love chicken. I said, well, I didn't say you can love it, just don't eat it. I never said you can just keep loving it, just don't eat it.
I say, what about eggs?
I said, well, that's a thin line. You can do organic egg whites. I mean, if you just got to eat some part of this animal, then you can do that. You just got to.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, if you're trying to take your body to a whole nother level,
yeah,
and keep in mind is that you need to get out of eating things that are dead, things that are not real, things that are artificial, if you're trying to take your body to another level.
I used to say, I worked in the grocery store years ago. If this is the grocery store, I tell people, I say, this is a grocery store. And I said, what you'll find on the outside are breads, vegetables, fruits. You have waters and all this on the outside. So I said, if you want to live, everything that dies that's living is on the outside. If you want to die, you go on the inside, the aisles.
Inside the aisle.
Because everything in the aisles are preservatives. And so canned, and they're modified a lot of times. So everything on the outside can die. It can biodegrade by air, oxygen, break down. If you can't break it down by oxygen and air, then your body's going to have a hard time breaking it down too. So you saw that whole thing where, like, if you put McDonald's hamburger and French fries for 10 years, you come back, it's still sitting there. It's hard, but it's still sitting there.
But see, people don't understand also, besides McDonald's. See, McDonald's always going to have a line, period. You know, it's going. So you ain't going to talk people not eating there. I want you to, the mindset that I want people to understand is, if you spend your life going through the drive-through, life is going to drive right on by you.
Oh, ooh, another bar.
If you spend eating processed food, then the body cannot process. So now you become the process.
Ooh.
So the thing is, the way you decide to live and do, that's the end result what's going to happen.
You are what you eat.
So the thing is, and it's past what you eat. It's what you just do, period. Your lifestyle. And understanding is, so food is one part of your lifestyle. Your habits is another part of that lifestyle that you do. And so if you keep doing things that the body cannot handle, then guess what? Now you become handled. So it is totally up to the individual. So the thing is, if you have processed foods, hamburger stand right here, but if you just go down 4 other blocks where you can get some fruits and vegetables. So whether you just go and do this because it's convenient,
right,
or would you rather go out of your conveniency to live a little bit longer, to drive another 5 or 6 blocks?
How important too, like a lot of people will say, oh, well, here's fruits and vegetables, but because of, I was reading the study from years ago that in this country, there's a lot of fertilizer that is banned in Germany. We buy it from Germany. It's banned in Germany, but yet we put it here, and the soil in much of the United States, down to like 400 meters down, is completely toxin because of the fertilizer they've been using, which also the pesticides and different things that are in the food. So how does that, talk about that so people can know what they
That's the reason why I don't recommend a person to eat white rice or brown rice, because that's completely arsenic and all the chemicals. So not only that fertilizer, but it's also arsenic, this chemical mixed with it. So brown rice is just as bad as white rice.
Well, what kind of rice can we eat?
So you can eat maybe, so you can
wild
do,
rice?
You can do wild rice, which is the black rice, or you do quinoa. The best grain on the planet to get, which is hard, is amaranth, which has been around for the last 5,000 years.
What is it called?
Amaranth. You can even get it on Amazon now, because it's hard to find in the stores, because it's a major grain that heals the body to and fro, inside and out. It helps build muscle, tissues, and everything.
Really?
It is a whole nother level. Right after amaranth, then comes quinoa. But amaranth is the #1 grain. And so you can, if you go on Amazon, you can hit amaranth and pull up. I mean, it's the top dog.
Really?
They do not talk about it, and they took it out of the stores purposely because it's healing. Keep in mind is that anything that can keep you out of the hospital, well, we got to keep this out of circulation.
Wow. Yeah, well, because literally, after working for the pharmaceuticals, they said anyone between the age of 55 and 74 is on anywhere between 12 and 24 medications for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
In this society,
Yeah.
You have something like, they say, well, I don't drink regular Coke, I drink Diet Coke. Okay, one causes cancer and the other one causes diabetes. So either way, like it's and you're just pouring it all over our organs, and you don't recognize that, you are slowly like harming the body. You're slowly killing the body.
People don't understand. If you drink 1 can of soda,
Yeah.
understand what the body is always trying to do. The body is always trying to remain a certain blood level at a certain number.
Right.
The body is always trying to do that. So now when you drink one soda, let's just say a 16-ounce can of soda. Now, if you do not neutralize that soda in a certain length of time, then the body takes up on itself to do it for you. And this is how it does it. Since you didn't neutralize it.
When you say neutralize it, are you saying exercise or do something like what?
Neutralize it means get it out the body.
Get it out the body.
Because
like urinate it out?
Yes, but see, the thing is, to neutralize one can of soda, you need to drink almost 2 gallons of alkaline water.
Yep.
Just to neutralize one soda.
I did a test with that. And it was the soda, like literally it was an alkaline test. So I had my alkaline water, which was purple. And if it touched it, right, I had to pour in 3 gallons for 1 can. Yeah. And there's 24 packets of sugar in 1 can. We're not talking about the big gulp. No, we're not even talking about 64 ounces. We're not talking about 32 ounces. I'm talking about the little guy. 24 packets of sugar in 1 can of soda. For that 1 can, it took 3 gallons of alkaline water for it to begin to turn purple.
And then people don't understand is that if you do not neutralize that at a certain time, guess what the body does? It steals the calcium from the body to neutralize that soda. So it takes the calcium from the teeth, the bones, anywhere it can take that, it robs the body from the calcium.
Now you start to have aches.
So that's why when people having these body aches and stuff, it's because the body is robbing and taking the calcium from the vertebrae, the teeth, anywhere it can to neutralize that one soda because you didn't take up on yourself to neutralize it. So it says, well, I'm going to do it for you.
Wow.
And so now when it does, so now here comes arthritic pains and more pains and joint issues and cripples and because you let the body took it on itself to do it because you didn't do it yourself.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's really deep. So mucus, I wanted you to tell them a lot of things that you've been able to help people so the body could heal itself. What are some of the testimony, like some of the things that you've seen? Go down the list type of people that they came in with this and.
Well, I've gotten rid of diabetes probably over 3,000 times. I actually stopped counting after that.
Yes. What else? This is so good.
Blood pressure is about, 10,000 times?
10,000.
Heart issues, different types of reproductive issues for women and men.
Wow.
All the time because I have a lot of young ladies that come and see me between the ages, say, 8 years old to 14 that's having reproductive issues and they still babies because they're feeding them chicken McNuggets, chicken strips,
and you're talking about
wing,
the schools
and parents.
Yeah. Well, I showed you a picture of my son, and he was almost 400 pounds. He was 14, and in a year, 200 pounds gone. But I started showing him videos. I started educating him about it. I started showing him what he could. Even at 400, I showed him somebody that looked like 600 and 800 pounds. I said, this is what you want to look like? He's like, no. I was like, I don't want to look like that. Well, while he's saying that, he's still addicted to, like, ketchup. Like, oh, my goodness, he's pouring so much ketchup on everything. It was the craziest thing. He would just eat, but it was the school lunches majority, too. So I remember he was stuck at, like, this, he couldn't get over this hump. I couldn't understand why. And I was like, you're doing your meal prep. He's cooking his own food. He's good, no sugar. He's drinking water. He's doing fruits, vegetables. I'm not understanding. He's working out twice a day. And I'm saying, why are you not dropping? So what are you eating at school? Oh, Mom, I just had a bite of this chicken burger. They had that one bite, that one chicken burger. Anything he touched at school that was not an apple, he could not drop anything.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Not going to happen.
And in Orange County, they give organic foods for the kids, but in our school systems, there's nothing that's healthy that they're feeding, that they're pumping the kids.
Yeah.
And so the kids are fatter. They are, the younger they are, I cannot believe they're first graders that are fat. Now, they're overweight. The obesity rate is just out of control in the United States.
You know what's amazing is that I had to go speak at a high school once, and so to the kids, and so this young lady came. I thought she was a teacher. So I said, "Can you show me where?" I said, "Are you going to the teacher's lounge?" I said, "No, I'm a student." I looked at her. She looked old enough for me to date her, and I'm old. Because these kids are eating so much artificial hormone foods that she was not only fully developed, but she was not only body-wise, but her face had matured where that she looked way past 18. She could have passed for 33, 34 years old that day. And not saying she looked it bad. She looked it good. It's just how the food has aging these kids.
Jesus.
See, because you got to understand, when I was coming up in school, 6th graders, boys and girls, chest was the same.
Right.
Same. You couldn't tell the difference.
Right.
Go to elementary school now.
They all look real old.
So you got to understand, so this is what I'm dealing with in my office with young girls with so many reproductive issues, and they're still babies because of the foods that they're eating. See, not only that the mucus that's in the foods, but the artificial hormones, the acids, and then on top of that, the parasites that keeps them irritated and keeps them irritated.
So let's talk about parasites. So parasites keep you irritated. What else do they do?
They eat up all the best part of the food in the body, and they're always keeping you craving for more and more and more of the bad things. So when you find yourself always craving and you find yourself always hungry the next hour or 2 hours, because the parasites is eating about 80% of your food and you get maybe 20%, maybe 20%. And so when you eating, especially if you eat any type of sugar, automatically now the parasite's going to grow crazy. And so from that point on, your cravings is going to keep escalating more and more every day, because these parasites, they require to keep you fidgety, keep you angry, keep you frustrated, and keep you hungry.
Parasites make you angry.
So the thing is, when you have people with attitude.
He says it's not a demon, it's a parasite. It's a kind of demon in there.
Well, the thing is, if you ever go to a grocery store, this is how you can tell the personality of a person. If the person in that basket got all different meats and processed foods, and you say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Fine." Then this person over here got fruits and vegetables, more conscious food. "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing just fine. How's your day doing?"
Right.
Totally different attitude.
I mean, even I was in Erewhon the other day, right? Yeah. The whole atmosphere of the grocery store is a totally different feel than other grocery stores. The whole feel, everybody's in there just like they're in their workout gear, they're at the counter, and they're getting there. Everybody's like, "Hey," everybody's all kind and nice. You're like, yeah. Then I go over to another store, go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
You know what's amazing? Now, I drive a bucket. I drive a bucket. So now, I left my Valley office. I was getting gas. A real quick story. So I'm pulling up in the AM/PM store to get my gas.
It's a true story.
True. These two guys get out this car that's worth about close to $300,000.
Right.
Now, the guy that owned the car, he probably had about $3,000 or $4,000 with the clothes on.
Right.
And so now, this is the thing. So I'm pumping my gas, and so my man said, "Hey, what gas did you want to put in?" He said, "I put nothing but the best in." So now the guy that owns the car is going inside to pay for the gas. He comes back out of AM/PM eating one of those 49-cent hot dogs. So you mean to tell me you care more about what goes in your car than what goes in your own temple?
Ooh.
So you care about what you got on your body, $3,000 or $4,000, because he probably had it on there because of the car.
Right.
And so everything about you says money, and I care about everything but myself. Because I put this 49-cent hot dog, he's coming out eating it like it's a bundle of joy. Now, I wanted to say something, but I know it's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
But I just stared, and I have a problem with staring because I don't know how to look. You don't know how to look to the side. And so I was it just threw me away. It just blew me away that people care more about the outside appearance and what they wear and what they drive and where they live than their own temple.
Wow.
And that has really blew me away when I saw
Jesus.
that. And I just couldn't stop staring because that what you cared about more is worth more to you than your own self.
And you think about the people, like even like someone like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And he had all this money, but the connections that he needed, it could have been somewhere like in Linwood or some, you know, could have been a person like yourself. And that a lot of times, you know, a lot of people will have money, but they don't have health. So they spent their health trying to get their wealth. And then you end up spending your wealth trying to get your health.
Which don't work.
Because time can run out. You have to do things in a certain amount of time. Right. There's like a point of no return when you have just completely destroyed the body and the way that it functions. Parasites, you want to get rid of parasites.
Parasites is one of the things that you really want your whole job is to fight and get rid of all parasites. And so the best way to, number one, parasites is, well, let me just say this. The majority of parasites come from animal products, meats. That's the basis where you get some. You can get them other kind of ways, which is airborne,
right.
Through sexual contact. You can get them through that way. But the majority of the way is through meat consumption.
When you say airborne,
where somebody go like this, I chew.
And they just
That's
jump on them
airborne.
and they just come on you?
Yeah. You know, and so people laugh at me because when somebody see, I'm, slide. But because the thing is, these things can project about 6 feet. And so when they're in the air, they stay in the air. So when if your immune
Breathing.
system is low,
is
weak, well, then now these parasites come in and start to invade the system. And once they're in there invading, and then now you start to feed them more, so now they grow up to be bigger parasites.
So let's get rid of them. Like, okay, so it affect your attitude. It can affect your health. It can. What else do they affect? Parasites.
Also, the immune system.
Immune system,
yes.
making it weak so your body can't fight back.
Right.
What else do they do?
Also affects the memory.
Your memory.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay, so
You
memory.
walk in a room and go like this. And then you go back and kind of come back again.
Jesus.
Because
okay.
it's called the sensory locomotor part of the brain that is hit. And it keeps, when it hits that, it sends a signal where your body forget the signal.
Wow.
Because it cuts the signal off. The parasite cut the signal off. So when you walk in, you go. So that's reasons why parasites is one of the things that you really need to start to get away from, which is the different foods, such as definitely dairy, because it grows more, and any type of shellfish, of course, meat products. Now, I'm not saying you can't, if you just want to eat meat, you can, but there are certain ones you definitely want to stay away from because it's higher, which is shellfish and sushi is the highest rate. But parasite,
what's the best meats if you're going to eat it?
If you're going to eat, if you just got to eat something that died.
Say again?
If you just got to eat something that died.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say like lamb, goat, ostrich, bison.
My son orders bison.
Wild caught fish, like a rainbow trout, freshwater. Those are the safer. Always keep in mind this. Anything that's when you do bison, keep in mind anything that's not in the mass production is the most safer meats to eat. Anything is in mass production, well, you already know the end of that story. So it's not going to go with. So the thing is, you want to stay out of the mass production, and that's why parasites thrive so much. And one of these parasites a person have it is the skin. Bunch of acne, bumps, different shades. All that's parasites.
Bumps underneath the arms.
All
that
is parasites. All those are worms.
Jesus.
All of them are parasites. So if you have any skin or bumps in the face, that's parasites.
So how do we get rid of them? Well, one, I know for me, I did the poop test, but I went and saw you. You already had mentioned, so I was like, oh, Jesus. um, and I wanted to, that's how I do. So an iridologist can tell you if you have parasites. Otherwise, you usually have to do like a poop test. Is there any other way somebody can tell besides those like symptoms that they can think they have? But if someone is getting diagnosed that there are parasites in your body, how does somebody do that? And then I want to focus on tell us how to get rid of them.
Okay. Also, I forgot another way. A person has parasites. If a person is very skinny, very small, and they cannot gain weight, that is extremely a lot of parasites. If a person is trying to gain weight and they cannot gain weight, that is parasites is extremely there. So automatically.
Yeah.
Now I have different formulas, which is my parasite formula, and I have put them on a cleanse to cleanse the system out, and along with the fasting process.
I think which one did I use? The parasite. Parasite.
The parasite is one. You use that one. Take the uric clear for the acids, and then the blood tone to clean up the blood. That's like the trio.
Yeah.
Clean the blood, get rid of the acids, get rid of the parasites. That's the trio.
My team was like,
That's
what are these little green pills? They're in my desk. They're at my house. I'm like, I'm supposed to take these every day.
See, mine's a signature because my capsules are green, but my capsules are made out of chlorophyll, alfalfa. And so there's very few people out there that's using, they use regular capsules. I use chlorophyll, which is alfalfa. My capsules are made out of chlorophyll.
That's so wonderful.
So that's why they're green. So now the capsules can also help supersede the blood.
Wow.
Sonic the blood.
That's amazing.
So the capsules already inside is going to work on that, and also the one for those parasites.
So how did you learn to treat what? Is that did you learn that in college when you were in Texas, or did you learn as you were studying later on throughout the years?
When in school and for holistic medicine, I learned about the different herbs because there's over 500. So most naturopathics that has their own product, usually that's how you can tell they are naturopathic because they have their own line product because they make their own formulas.
Right.
So
I got soursop from you. I have the bronchial. Look, the
bronchial congestion.
Yes, come on. We gotta make sure I'm good. I got a lot of work to do for Jesus. I don't have time to be sick.
See, the thing is, we got some type of parasites here that the average basic herbs for parasites, it doesn't work that as strong. So I had to go and find the best I can herbs to fight because they got a whole new different beast of parasites now.
Jesus.
And these are, they got some out there that they wear Superman capes. And so they're,
like we gonna live up in here.
Yeah.
We don't die, we multiply.
Yeah. So automatically I had to search high and low. It took me a couple of years to really formulate these formulas. But it took a while, but it did. So
I noticed a lot of times they try to silence the people that speak and do kind of what you do because it is a business for a lot of people.
It is.
It's a business. And, I thought it was ironic that, different countries actually pay for you. If while you are sick, you don't pay in some countries, they want to make sure that you stay healthy.
Correct.
So they will pay you to stay healthy. There's a lot of countries that don't charge for medical insurances and different things, and they push a holistic approach and depends on with different countries. That's not really what happens here. So unless we're on a podcast like this, you don't even know where to go or what to do or who knows what, or information is watered down or passed down or it's in the wrong capsules or different things. So I'm so grateful that you're actually talking to us about this. So I know what I got from you, and then water and then movement you said too. How long does it take to remove parasites after you've switched your food?
Parasites can take anywhere from 3 months to 12 months. Because you gotta understand that the parasites understand once they go through the digestive system, your bloodstream is like the 405. They move everywhere. That's where they can travel back and forth because your bloodstream is how they travel.
Wow.
So not only does it stay just in the digestive system, that's the homeland where they start. But once they leave that, then they move through the system, by the blood. So that's why it's important to do what? Keep the blood clean. Because that's where everything moves through is the blood.
Okay.
And so remember, as you know, our blood is our life force.
Yes, it
so
is.
the parasites in there, then they start taking away the life force.
Wow.
So when they're moving, they're destroying as they move. And keep in mind is that if you're eating, they're eating 80% of your food, so you're not getting all the nutrients from the food. So now you're depleting, so your energy level is dropping, you're aging quicker, and you're feeling more sluggish because you're not getting enough nutrients because the parasites are robbing that.
Wow.
So one of the things I tell a person.
That way you look younger after you've done like a major cleanse.
Yeah.
You look a lot younger.
Right.
Wow.
See, my 20-day cleanse, it is a beast. I ain't gonna lie. I developed it. It's a 20 days, and I developed it.
You didn't put me on it. Why
Yeah, I did
not?
not.
Why
Yeah.
you didn't tell me? I need a 20-day cleanse.
Because I didn't want you to kill me. So,
I didn't look. I'm all for. I like challenges and stuff. You know.
See, my 20-day cleanse, I developed it more spiritual than physical. So in the first 7 days of my cleanse, you're not eating anything at all, just juice, water, herbs, and prayer.
I've done that.
And then
I need that.
Then break it up.
You gonna do it? Can I be a test? Can I be the test person?
You sure you want to do that?
I do. I need it. I'll come back. I'll be like fire.
First-
I'll be like Elijah. They'll be like, oh Jesus, you gonna know what happened here. You say a prayer, and some water, and no food. Yeah, I like this.
Okay. Now we got proof because we got witnesses out here.
Oh, they know. Look, there's times I've been on 21 days and they were like, you sure you don't want to eat? I was like, absolutely not. Yeah. The first few days, like first week is probably the hardest. After that, you just like, and I was still like working every day and doing stuff every day. I was still functioning completely.
So the thing is, that's one version. The other version where I just mentioned, the lighter versions, where the people just want to stick the baby toe in there, which is the three that we call it the trio pack to clean up the blood, the parasites, and the acids. Those are the three ones. You can start with that. Start taking them on a daily basis, and start also with the diet that we talked about with the food combining. Start doing that. Now, I do have a program that is called, if the person is really want to step out there and they feel like, it's called my 3-week pyramid. The 3-week pyramid, it goes like this. This is for people that did my 20-day cleanse and they said, I want to do something else. Well, it goes like this. The first week, you're doing what you call a 1 day on and 1 day off. So 1 day you're eating, then 1 day you're not eating. So the day that you're not eating, you're just doing the juice in the water and herbs, right? Then the second week, you're doing a 2-day on and a 1 day off. So it's 2 days you're eating, and then the third day you're not eating.
Okay.
So just juices and water. So now the third week, 2 days off and 1 day on.
This is good.
And so this is called a challenge. And the reason why I did that is, especially when people have done the cleanse, they want a challenge. Well, this is a challenge where it challenges yourself. So if you anger issues, you have selfish issues, if you just have discipline issues.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to help you get you back in place because, see, when you're going through this, it's taking all the dog fight out of you.
Come on.
Taking all the dog fight out.
Get the dog
so now,
fight
now it's called the humble. You're in a humble level right now. So all that energy now, you're reserving that because you got to go through 3 weeks of this. So
I like this.
So this is where it take all the dog fighters. So now it humbles you to show the real you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The real you. I like the sound of that.
Okay.
Is this your? I was telling you. By the way, let's see where. I was telling you about. Everybody got this. I don't know if that's the new COVID or what. I don't know what to call it. Look. Whatever it is. But it was wiping everybody out this year, like where they was coming out the front, it was coming out the back. It was, they were in pain and they were wiped out. And I was like, I wasn't getting anything You're right. And they were like, oh, I can't come in because I'm not feeling good. I've been wiped out for a whole week. I've been in the bed for a week. I was like, I was telling you, my cousin, Christian, she makes this, that's all the vegetables. That's not it. I had these shots.
Actually looks good, yeah.
Yeah, the shots. And she started making these, she makes these shots and would get rid of COVID. Matter of fact, she said back in the day, she used to make them, and her ex-boyfriend would pass the drug test. It was purifying so much, it was passing the drug test. And so I said, what? But it was helping people during COVID. Right. And so she had started making it again. And I was like, I'm the only one not getting sick. And I was like, what is going on? So what happened was I said, someone was extremely, extremely sick. And I said, here, bring me some of that. And I said, here, I want you to take some more zinc and vitamin C with this. And I gave it to them. They were up and moving the next day. And the next person they were up and moving the next day. Right. The next person was up and moving the next day. And I finally, I was like, in my office, they were lining up, coming to my office, getting the juice, and then some of them I was like, she had a detox tea, and then the vegetable soup, and I was like, here you go. My daughter lives in the Bay Area. She called me the other night. Her husband was in Texas because they're moving to Texas, right. And she just had a baby, so she has a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old, my grandson. My daughter called me. She wrapped around the toilet. I answered the phone. I seen her. I said, what's the matter? She's like, Mom, I'm so sick. I can't even feed my baby because she breastfeeds. And I was like, give me a flight. I jumped on a flight. I took her the items. You know, I'm a mom.
Mom first.
I got what you need. I was in church and I was in there just hallelujah and everything. You send somebody a voicemail quick, but they call right back. And I was like, who is this FaceTiming? And I just did like this to show her like I'm in church. When I saw her face, I walked out. I said, no. And so I went and took it to her. She was up moving. She was just fine. And she was like, wow. And then I made her some fresh. I went to the store, got some vegetables myself, made her some soup, and gave her some water, really dehydrate her. And she's been fine ever since. And then it was crazy. My other daughter's in Washington called me, and she's like, Mom, I don't feel good. I was like, look, I can't come to Washington. I'm about to go out of town today. But so I was like, I'm going to send you something. So we sent it to her. But the testimony of all the people is like, it wasn't medicine and pharma and going to the doctor that was helping them. It was the water. It was the fruit and vegetables. And I was asking my cousin to give me this list of everything that was in. I said, well, I need it now. I don't know where that list is. I need it. I said, what is in this stuff? I said, you gonna tell me what is in this stuff? Because it was transforming. I'm not talking about a few people. She finally came and just gave it to the whole church. Right. And shots and everything. And we literally saw people raising up, and they were getting out of the bed, and they were able to function. And that's what I needed. I was like, I needed a healthy church. And I was like, people have to recognize what you eat matters. What you're putting in your body matters. Sicknesses or things that come. There's things you can do that will fight back. The body will fight back. And I was so excited when I saw that list. I'm looking for it now, see where she put it. Literally, it was awesome. I said, it's golden seal, echinacea, black walnut, cayenne pepper, lemongrass, oranges, black seed oil. It was a whole long list of all this stuff that was like natural. And I was like, all I know is it shifted people's health immediately overnight.
See, what you have there is a gold mine. See, on top of that, and I want to say this, when you're going through something on your health, and you can't find out you can't put your finger on it. The first thing you should do is what I tell my staff and everybody around me: go to Plan A. What is Plan A? Stop eating it. Stop doing everything. Give the body a chance to reset itself and recharge.
Yes.
So just like what you have there.
Yeah.
Stop eating. take it
Yeah.
so the body can start to refuel itself and get itself back. The problem is that with people, when they feeling, they start loading themselves up with stuff that does not work, or chemicals that create more of an issue. So when you get to a point where that, when you can't find out what's wrong with your body,
Right.
or you don't know what's wrong, the best thing to do is stop everything.
Yeah.
Give it a chance to see, because your body's going to tell you. The problem is we ignore it.
Yeah. This is true.
So you stop everything and just hydrate. Juice, water, hydrate, and just be still.
Be still.
And then start moving after you be still. And then now the body's going to tell you, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's going on with you. And then it's going to reset itself.
And I noticed too when they took it at night and they slept. A lot of people, I don't know if people know that, but your body rebuilds itself when you're sleeping.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
if you go to sleep right after it, you wake up, you're like, whew.
Right.
Oh, wow. And I'm like, wait, when you wake back up, do it again. Like, like if you're just trying to get it together, you need to give yourself a moment. But I saw, there was a huge transformation. I was telling her, I was like, you have to come meet Dr. Richardson. I was telling her, I was like, this is life. And it's funny because, our church is called Life Church.
Right.
When I was praying about a name, and God was like, Life Church. And people don't realize even what you eat, whether sometimes we're dreaming and sometimes, this is a prophetic house too. If I want to tap into the spirit, when I'm just drinking and I'm eating light,
Right.
I can see more in dreams. I can hear more clearly. I can do more spiritual. I'm stronger. So my spirit man also needs my natural man.
Correct.
To do some things.
Yes,
and when I eat heavy things and sugars and all this stuff, or even right before I go to bed and I'm heavy, I don't dream right and I don't hear like I want to hear. I can tap in. Oh, my phone. I'm like, my phone started talking. I'm like, who was that? Literally, those are the things that you see that when you're in these fasting states or you're just in disciplining yourself, it shifts your entire life. So, and then you feel better too when you're exercising, like you're saying, you're drinking the water, you're sleeping, you're exercising, and you're giving your body what it needs. Literally, you begin to act different, you begin to look different, you begin to mold their body completely different. I was talking the other day with you about Ernestine Shepherd, and she was, now she's like 90, but she's the world's oldest bodybuilder. And she said, her and her sister at 50 were saying, we're going to be bodybuilders, right? But they were fat and they were overweight. And they're like, we were just woofing, selling wolf tickets. They were just talking. and maybe you're one of the talkers, so you're not getting anywhere. Her sister dies. And in her dream, her sister comes to her at 55 and said, you're not doing what we said we were going to do. So she got up. She started jogging at 3 a.m. She started singing and praying at 3 a.m. She started going to the gym, and ever since, so you see the older ladies, they have the cane, and they got the little thing with the balls on the bottom of it, the walker.
Right.
And she's up there like posing and got bikini on, and grandma looked better than 19-year-olds, and she's got muscle. She has her health, her hair she got a full head of hair. Right. And I'm like, that's gonna be me when I'm old. But the choices that we're talking about right now that you have to make. So at 55, she started making healthy choices.
Right. It's never too late. Only time it's too late is when they put you in that little box and put the cover over it.
Yeah.
That's when it's too late. See, it's never too late to get started. It's the thing about it's starting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And one of the things that I tell a lot of my patients that has gym memberships, I said, this is the part where you're going to hate me. I said, if you have a gym membership, it's one of the things, if you just got to use a machine, what is the machine on there that I want you to get on? And that is the Stairmaster where you're walking up the stair like an escalator with no hands. Because now you activated the respiratory system.
You got to move
the
your
legs,
arms. Okay.
the whole skeletal system. So now you activate the lymphatic system, everything, because now you're moving and putting things and setting things in motion. And then start moving more and more. That's how we get our life back.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it just
How long?
doing the basic.
How long?
How long you stay on it?
How long?
At least 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Because all you got to do is walk on it.
So you got 1,440 minutes in a day.
Spend 20 minutes.
20 of those minutes.
Got it for yourself.
Got to free yourself. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. How do people reach you?
Well, you can reach me.
You're on Instagram too, right?
I'm on Instagram. You hit Dr. Keith Richardson. I'm on Instagram, Dr. Keith Richardson, and then also my website is newbodynutrition.com. And you can also call the office, and you can call it direct, which is the 310-608-1333. I'll make my numbers really easy.
That's good.
608-1333, 310 area code. But my Instagram is Newbody Nutrition. My Instagram is Dr. Keith Richardson.
Yeah.
If you go there, I would love for you to go there. Reason why I want you, because I put a lot of educational information on there. I use that website basically for education. And also, if you have a certain thing going on with you, if you can scroll through there, because I have different topics I talk about, where you can pick up something that you or maybe the person that you know may be having a certain thing, they can go there and they can pull the information and start working on their health. Because one of the things I want to make it clear to a point where that I don't want you having an excuse not to get well.
Right.
I don't want you to have an excuse that, well, there's nothing available. It's available. I just want you to use it.
Yes.
And the thing is if you don't use it, well, now that's on you. It's not that it's not available. It's because you decided not to do it. And it also has on there about different foods to stay away from, and foods to eat, and foods not to eat, to help with a better and stronger lifestyle. Because one of the things is that killing us the most is our lifestyle, foods that we eat. Because we eat traditionally, and we eat out of emotions, we eat out of traditions, we eat out of anger, we eat out of stress. All these different things none of them leads to a healthier lifestyle. They all lead to something that you're going to eat bad. If you get stressed, you're not going to go eat no fruits and vegetables. And traditional eating, family traditional eating, ain't fruit and vegetables not on that top. You see? And then if you eat out of entertainment, that is definitely not. Yesterday, over 1 billion wings was consumed on that Super Bowl day.
Wow.
Over 1 billion wings was consumed.
1 billion
now,
wings.
You don't got to be a mathematician to figure this out. If they're consuming over 1 billion wings and we have an egg shortage, so something is not real.
Where did the wings come from? We have an egg shortage, but we have 1 billion wings.
Each chicken's supposed to have 2 wings.
But they can have a bunch of eggs.
But we ain't got no eggs. Yeah, egg shortage.
Oh, that's creating some issues. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up too, because I used to, a long time ago, like I used to be able to eat like Wingstop, and I loved just wings. I'll just say, I liked wings, right? The barbecue wings, whatever, the honey all of a sudden, now I cannot even eat them. My body, like, is this the place? So do you get to a place where sometimes your body just trying to give you a message? They're trying to like, look, I'm talking to you. Or
Yeah.
I can't, no, well, one, I noticed, the first thing I noticed, and I will say this, I started getting gas and it didn't smell right. And I was like, oh, what is that? And I recognized, oh, wait, no, something's not right. And I was like, well, maybe it's not that. Then next time I tried, I was like, oh, there it is again. No, okay, we're not going to do this. So we're not going to do this. Then the next thing I noticed was my stomach started hurting when I was eating. I barely even got any. My stomach started hurting. Or all of a sudden, my body felt like it had to just throw it up. So does that begin to happen when your body's trying to tell you don't eat this, or what are those kind of signals? And do you see those signals with people?
Some of the signals that you may get also, if you start to feel a head rush, dizziness, your vision starts to blur up. You start to feel sluggish all of a sudden, or and your throat feel is closed or full of mucus and stuff here. Those are indication the body's saying, okay, look, you need to stop.
Oh, if I eat any of that, mucus immediately overload in like my nose. I noticed all of a sudden my nasals started bothering me, like my passage. I couldn't breathe well. So that's my body saying,
stop eating. Stop eating. And the thing is what we don't do is, what we mentioned earlier, is we love to keep eating. But it's telling you, so listen,
or you take a pill so you can keep eating it. You take the gas pill, you take the indigestion, you take all the little stuff, and you'll be like, I will be okay, I'm going to eat it. Or my famous one is, I'll just take a Benadryl.
I know people that do that a lot.
Yeah, just like, let me numb it for a minute. Let me just, so I can have it, enjoy this foolishness.
Do you know who is the most educated people on the planet? Guess who they are? Diabetics.
Oh, okay.
Diabetics are the most educated people on the planet. See, they got to prick and sugar and do all of these different things. So they know certain things they cannot eat because what's going to cause.
Right.
So they know that.
Yeah.
So what they do, because they're smart.
Right.
They have their medicine right here.
Yeah.
And they get the food right here. And they eat it.
Knowing.
And so after they eat it, then I got the medicine to shoot it up to make back.
This is going to spike this, so I just take this. Wow. This is going to do this, so I just do that.
Now, all of you guys know who Steve Harvey is.
Right.
So back in the day, he used to have a bouncer work for him, bodyguard, which was a diabetic. The problem was, so he was calling and said, Boone, where you at? Boone was sitting by the emergency exit at the hospital, and he had a big piece of cake he was about to eat. So what happened is we said, where you at? He said, well, I'm going to eat this cake, so if I pass out, I'm already here at the hospital.
What?
You're already there. So he said, man, why are you doing this? He said, man, I need this cake, but I'm already at the door, so when I pass out, all you got to do is wheel me right in there. That's crazy. See, that's why I said people know. Most people know certain things is not good for them. Persons that smoke, they know smoke ain't good. They ain't stopped them. Right, people know things that's not good for them, but it's because I'm addicted and because it's something I want and I love it and I don't want to give it up. So I need a counter to help me with this. And this is the counter. They know it. They know it's bad. That's the reason why I said that diabetics are the number one. They know, because they know that automatically that if I don't do this, I'm leaving here. So I'm gonna have this meds right here. I'm gonna eat this food right here, and so when I eat it, shoot it.
I got an EpiPen.
Right. That's the best of both worlds.
We had that happen. We had a friends and family day, and one of the ladies, she knew she was allergic to it. She did it anyway. Yeah. And thinking I'll be okay. I think she said she took a Benadryl, but it didn't kick in. And literally, I look up and the ambulance is out there. And I remember saying, I was like, well, why didn't somebody come get me? I had an EpiPen around here. I was like, you guys have to know where the EpiPens are. And she went into the hospital. Yeah. She was at the hospital for quite some time because literally she said, I knew I wasn't supposed to. Her husband came right after. She knew she wasn't supposed to eat that, and she ate it anyway. Right. And I was like, but we all do it. I'll be like, yeah, every now and then. But I figured out years ago, I liked Snickers. I used to like Snickers so much. And I would always have a Snickers right before I go to bed. And I was like, But then I was trying to figure out why I was wheezing and couldn't breathe at night, because my throat would start closing up. But here I was, I loved the Snickers. Then I was like, I'll just eat Snickers and I'll just take a Benadryl. Yeah. I had to stop that because all of a sudden I could not breathe well. So it's like we have to discipline ourselves and we have to do what's right because we have to love our body and love ourselves so that we can actually be able to do what we need to do and function and be around for our kids. They won't even give you health insurance too, because they denied my son at one point at 14 years old because he was too big. And they actually, when we said his weight next time, they wanted us to prove it, that this was the same person, because they couldn't believe somebody could lose in 1 year 200 pounds.
Right.
And he'll be the first one telling you, you shouldn't eat that. Do you know this, that, and the other? That soda, it's going to kill you. Like, I'll be like, Lazarus, you can't be telling people that. He's like, well, it's the truth. I'm like, I know, but keep it to yourself. Everybody don't want to hear that, babe. You know, he's now warning everybody about their health. But it's just those things, but also medical insurance and health insurance. They won't give you life insurance because of your health issues. But you can reverse health issues. And I had a chart. I didn't get it from my assistant, but how God designed the body to rejuvenate itself. It was like, and I had a whole list. Let me see. Let me see if she got it. If she might pull it up if she got it. I don't know if Emma pulled it. If she has it, I wanted her to pull it up. But literally, it's like there's a certain time for the hair. There's a certain weeks for the liver, for the kidneys. The one thing they said that doesn't like completely rejuvenate itself is the pancreas, they said. Is that, what have you found?
Well, the pancreas can. The thing is that the person's diet has to be on the one. It can. Just like the liver. The liver does over 2,000 things for the body.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that if you start to apply it and start to change the lifestyle, then the body, it can start to rejuvenate itself. It is possible, especially if it's not too far gone. We're to the point where if it's really gone, where there's nothing that you can do. But when there's still life there, then the body can always. See, the only time when the body can't do it is when God closed your eyes for the last time. Outside of that, if you take it seriously and take really responsibility of your health and take on, you can reverse and change anything going on with the body.
And when my husband went to the hospital and he left the hospital with 3% liver, kidney was 6%. His pancreas, it was all started from the pancreas. His triglycerides were 2,500, which you're not supposed to be over 250 at all. That's high. He had all these issues, and he insisted on coming home. And I was like, well, and he didn't want to take any medicine. I said, well, let me tell you something. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do what I say. You're going to have to eat what I give you. So he said, deal. If I can come home, I will eat what you say. I began to cook all of his food, do juicings, do the things. They were so shocked. Week by week, he had, even his hair was falling out, and he had dialysis 3 times a week during that time. And he went from 24 hours a day to actually that diagnosis of 3 days a week at dialysis. Within 6 weeks, from him eating only what I fed him, everything was organic, everything was fresh. He did not complain. He did it he came completely off of dialysis. Right. He got 100% function back of his liver, and his kidneys began to function. He wasn't even urinating for 3 weeks in the hospital. He didn't urinate at all. That's bad. He couldn't. It was so bad. They did a plasmapheresis. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but when they pull it out your body, it's supposed to look something like, if it looks like Coca-Cola in the bag, that's what it would normally look like. It looked like cornmeal. It was so bad. Right. And they were pulling the things out of his blood and separating all the things that were killing him. He was dying. Wow. And I have pictures of it, and they had to do 3 plasmapheresis to save his life. And I was in there like, I just can't believe this. He's younger than me, and here he is, and they don't know. They're like, we don't know what's going to happen. We have to see what this pancreas is going to do. So when I started giving him everything, every week they had to do a blood test. Every week you could see the numbers, and every week he was improving so drastically, they were absolutely shocked. The medical doctors were like, I've never seen anything like this before. And it was just because it was crunch time, where his life was hanging in a balance, where I had to apply all of these principles and all the foods you're talking about so that he could actually live. And he got his health back. So I was looking at here a couple of these things. Oh, yeah. Did it do it? Okay, here. The small intestines, it takes 2 to 3 days. They can begin to rejuvenate. The stomach is 2 to 9 days. The cervix, every 6 days. It talks about the lungs, 8 days. Lungs, I don't know what that word is. Alveoli. What's that? Alveoli?
I like the way you say it.
Okay, he's laughing at me. Whatever. It sounds good to me. Okay.
I like the way you say it.
It talks about, watch this. Why is it not going? Show me the whole thing. Now it's trying to act funny. Don't act funny on me. Okay. Even the skeletal system, the complete skeletal system, it says every 10 years it completely replaces itself.
It's even sooner than that.
Sooner?
Yeah,
This
sooner
is
than
good.
that, yeah.
Okay. Because this isn't my regular chart. I'm just looking up to see. The liver, do you know what the numbers are? The liver? Even the lining on the inner side, the lining of your, the veins and different things, 121 days, rejuvenates themselves. This happens by what you're eating, you guys. Like what we eat will determine how we rebuild, how the body rebuilds itself.
Yeah.
There's a really good chart. I don't know. I don't know. I wish Emma would have got my chart. She said show on the screen. I just need the chart. That's not my chart, guys.
I want to say something really quickly that while you're doing that, and I want to drop this gem that a lot of people don't understand between Western medicine and holistic medicine. Western medicine doctors, majority, 90% of the medical doctors do herbs. 90%. And they all, especially they any foreigners, they all do it. Now, they cannot claim it because they take the Hippocratic oath. So they cannot, because Western medicine pays them. So they cannot uphold holistic medicine. But none of them have medicines at their homes. Nor do they allow any of their friends and family to take meds. They don't. Their kids, none. Especially all the Asian doctors, Indian doctors, all the doctors that are of
Right.
foreign descent, they do not do
Wow.
Western medicine, period. Now, if you ask them, they're going to look at you crazy.
Right?
Because
True.
they're going to look at you real stupid like they don't know what you're talking about because pharmaceutical pays them. And so they got to uphold the Hippocratic oath. Just like I cannot cross over that fence because I'm a naturopathic. Because when I came out of school to become a naturopathic, I cannot use the word cure, claim anything of healing.
Yeah.
Because the Western medicine bought the rights to those words. So I cannot say I claim to heal anything.
No.
Or cure because they bought the rights to these words.
Like
So
we would have to put on this broadcast, we have to put seek a medical professional.
Right.
We're not claiming, you have to make a disclaimer. We're not claiming to cure, heal, or there's one other word I can't think of, that anything, we can't say those words.
Because they bought the rights to those words. Those writers, they bought the rights to them. So when I came out of school to become a naturopathic, there's certain words that they said that we had to use, and these are the words that we cannot use.
That's why I
So
kept saying things like the body, you give the body what it needs, the body can
Right.
heal itself. Or you have to say, begin to, heal itself. You can't say that you can do anything.
Right. So on that note, I want you guys to understand, please take your health serious.
Yeah.
Take it under control. I'm not saying that you got to eat 100% perfect or being a vegetarian or being a vegan. But I do want you to eat more health conscious because you got to understand, we under new times now where food is going to be changing. What you don't understand is that you got to eat 100% better this year to meet what you did 50% last year. So you're just basically trying to maintain what you did last year. Not to get better, just to maintain what you did last year.
Yeah.
Because of how aggressively the food things is changing and what they're doing to the foods and of our environment. And so you got to do way more now, twice as much that you did last year.
How
Just to
is
maintain.
do you suggest, we were talking about actually, since we have the acreage of land, we were going to plant some, we were talking the other day, I was like, we should get our own chickens. I was laughing. I said, we can just get our own chickens and we'll just plant some of our own food because the issue is that I was watching this, the foods that molded America or made America. I was watching the documentary yesterday and it was showing how people got away from, they used to actually catch their own food, grow their own food, and next thing you know, they created this whole system where it took everybody out of doing their own food. So now everyone's solely dependent on grocery stores, where this was not the case many years ago.
When I went to Kenya, I learned, Africa, I learned a lot. They get their food daily because they don't use refrigerators. They don't have refrigerators. They don't do refrigerators. They catch the fish fresh that day, and the people go down to the markets and buy the foods and eat for that day because they don't have refrigerators. So there's nothing they're going to put in there to say, save it.
Right.
We're eating for today. Then the next day they get up and they go get new food for that day.
And you don't see a lot of fat people in Kenya.
You don't see it.
You don't see it.
And especially and just like in the Himalayas, them ladies walk at 100 years old walking up mountains. See, understanding is we getting away from the basics, and all you need to do is get the basics back in your life, which is what I said earlier about movement, exercise, and start eating more health conscious. And then one of the most important things is food combining. And one of the things that they don't teach is eating the right things together. Because not so much eating bad foods, but eating the wrong things together can also be detrimental to the system because the body cannot process it. So then guess what? It starts sitting up and turn to what? Toxins. Then it turns to toxins and poisons. Now it creates another issue.
Wow.
You see? So that's reasons why that we need to just get back to just doing these basic things.
Just tell us a couple that you shouldn't eat together.
You should never eat meat and carb in the same meal, period, which is traditional. Like
Wow.
if you eat meat, I'll say do 25% meat and then 75% vegetables. If you get hungry a couple hours later, then you can do a carb and vegetables. So meat and carbs should never be in the same meal, but you can eat them in the same day.
Wow.
You see, which is
That
what
just messed us all up.
traditionally has. You gotta understand is if you go by traditional of our cultures, every culture on this planet don't eat right because we eat out of traditions.
Right.
Any culture, or just say like the Italians, they eat meat and pasta. The Hawaiians eat pork and potatoes. You see, so every culture is always eating out of their culture.
Yeah, tradition.
Traditional eating. So they're not eating on a healthier tip. They're eating it because this is what they've been taught to eat because they love to eat through, passed down through tradition.
Wow. That's how
And so that's the reason why they end up having passed down, having all these issues. They think it causes genetics. Genetics does not, you cannot get health issues through genetics. That is impossible. You cannot pass no health issue through genetics.
So we're passing it through tradition.
Traditional eating. So if everybody in the house eating the same thing, everybody gonna get the same problem.
Wow. There
That's
you
it.
go. There. That's deep.
That's reasons why there's a lot of misinformation
Wow,
out there.
that's deep.
A lot of misinformation.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We're in the same house
Right.
eating
So
the same
if
thing.
everybody like
Siblings.
macaroni and cheese, well, everybody gonna get the same problem from macaroni and cheese.
Got it. You messing up. Holidays only. Look, we gotta keep it 100, Then go work out. I remember one year I had a whole class. We worked out that morning right before the Thanksgiving. They're like, "You worked us out extra hard today." And I was like, "You sweat real good today." Then we went and ate and came back the next day. But I'll say this real quickly in our closing.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks, your skin replaces itself. Your liver every 5 months. Your taste buds every 10 days. Your lungs every 6 weeks. Your intestines every 2 to 4 days. Your hair 3 to 6 years. You'll see a change in that. Your bones, like you were saying, it's under 10 years, but your whole bone structure, your body makes new cells, rejuvenates new cells. So we were saying 51 days for white blood cells, red blood cells around 90 days. And so if you really want anything to transform your health or even a diagnosis, you have to give yourself the time that it needs to. It's like you waxed a car and you're doing a spot here. Now that part, now you're doing this one down here. Now you're doing that one over there. Well, every day it's removing. And so in a moment, the whole thing's going to look brand new. It's gotten all the toxins off. So just think of it like that. So it has to take a moment. I wanted to thank you so much, Dr. Keith Richardson. We're so glad to have you. We love the fact that you're here, that you're giving us your wealth of information. I'm glad to find out about that cleanse because I'm about to have to get my own cleanse. A matter of fact, where can you can't. I got to find out where all three of your cleanses are because I need to look at them. And so those three cleanses. Where do you find how to do them and where to get? Is that on your website? Those three cleanses
on my website, newbodynutrition.com.
Yeah,
you can get the three I said about the blood tone. That's the blood purifier. Yeah. Then the Uroclear. That's for all that acid. Yeah. And then the Parasite.
So do they show your three that you were talking about, the 3 week ones that you can choose, the really intense one, the other one, and the baby get your feet in one? Where do you find that?
So let's say, for instance, you just want to say, listen, I just want to clean out my colon.
Do you have it on the website, Dr. Keith Richardson? Because I'm gonna need to I'm gonna have to really get into this.
It's called a colon tone.
She's laughing at me. I'm serious. I'm
because the thing is that
I need to challenge myself. Get it together.
Well, you say you want to.
I need to get it together. Look, and they gonna see. So I don't want to hear nothing. When I come back and I look 20 years younger, either don't look, because every time I actually have ever done something like that, at least it's like 10 years comes off of me. And people always say you don't look. They'll tell me all the time you don't look like you're in your 50s, Right. And I'm just like, well, that's definitely the Lord because it's not like I ate the whole time great, but I do like a lot of fruits and vegetables and different things like that. My blood type's an A, and I just seem to go more towards vegetarian type diet.
One thing is right now that, so remember I said I got over 10,000 patients, right? Uh-huh. So the word is out that I'm giving myself a challenge. So I told everyone that I'm taking my body to another level. I'm changing my hair color back to black on a natural level.
On a natural level?
On a natural level.
Oh, did you hear that here? Natural
reversing
level.
My hair process to turn it back black.
Whoa.
And reversing the aging. So I'm already putting some formulas together.
We need to film this.
So I'm already on the turn on another health tip.
Really?
So I'm taking it to another level. So
you can naturally turn your hair, your gray hair, back to black.
Right. So I'm working on that now. So I started this.
Can you grow edges back?
Huh?
Can you grow edges back?
Edges.
Your edges, girl.
Actually, that is easy to do.
Your edges.
That's actually easy to do. Hair is actually easy to go back. The problem is that when you break off the hair follicles for all the acids, but you need to change the system, which takes about a year or so.
Really?
If you do that, you can start getting the hair, because the hair follicles breaks off from the acid and the mucus break off the hair follicles because they get hard and they do it like this. And so now that's where a person where they start balding.
Yeah.
Because the acid of it, so now it's not growing back. But see, if you reverse that and then the hair follicles start back. See, one of the things that are messing with, especially with men, is wearing caps, because it starts taking away the hairlines and it starts creating receding.
You like baseball caps?
Baseball caps.
Wow. What about do-rags?
That's another level. You don't have enough time to talk about that.
Did the do-rag mess up your hairline?
No, the do-rag does it, but it's caps.
Okay, that's good.
But the thing about it, if your diet is high acid, it breaks. If you notice, if you have missing your hairs in patches, where it's because the acid's there sitting there and breaking off the hair follicles.
So will the wig do that too?
The wigs? There's not enough time when it.
Okay. Well, so okay, we have to come back. I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna get a little talk on the wigs. How many girls want to know what's happening with the wigs?
That's
what
a
it
whole
does?
nother.
Okay.
That's
We gonna have to
another
grow that
conversation.
back. Okay, and we can grow hair back. I like this. Okay, so we have to. I'm definitely listen, you guys. I'm gonna be catching up with Dr. Keith Richardson. I gotta find out. Put a topic. Drop a topic in the comments right now of some things health questions that you would want me to ask him and things that you need to know about. And when I go see him, I'll start getting some questions answered for you guys, and we'll post him and tag him. You can find him also at Dr. Keith Richardson on his Instagram, and he does a lot of health talks. And so I can probably get him some of those questions, and that way we can get some of those answers, because I'm really interested in how we can reverse hair color and different things. I like this. It's good because literally, you guys, there's those fibroids that they had seen. He could see in the eye. I already knew. Well, I went to the doctor and they told me, but when he looked in my eyeball, he was able to tell me what was happening. He's like, "Oh, you got rid of these things." He goes, "But you've been doing something else because now you picked up all of these things over here." I was like, it was those red cinnamon bears I told them to get rid of really bad. We'll talk about dyes another day and all the dyes that they have and different things, how they affect your body and your life and what they bring into your life that's in colors, the colors, food coloring, different things. So that's a whole nother story. So Dr. Keith Richardson at New Body Nutrition, we thank God for you. We thank you for being here. I'm super excited and that you came and you gave us just a moment with you and this time with you. Real quickly, while I come back, I'm going to close with prayer. If we could just quickly, a lot of you guys, I want you to grab any seed that matters to you, and I want you to just make a commitment to yourself about renewing your health. It's like we renew our mind, and we want to be spiritual, but being spiritual has something to do with you being connected to the body God gave you. We are spirit, soul, and body. And so when you get the first thing, if you want to have discipline and you want to get your spirit right, deal with the body first, because the body has all of its cravings and its aches and its different things. And it's very important. So if you can go real quickly, they're going to go give, and we're going to come back. I'll pray for you real quickly, and I'm going to release you. Like, where's your people at? Skylar. Where's Skylar? this has been the most awesome podcast, being here with Dr. Keith Richardson, talking about our health. Our health is our wealth, okay? And he dropped a few amazing bars that I'm going to have to steal. I will give him credit. I know how to copyright. If you're going to copyright, but copyright and copyright, And can't just copy people without copyrighting them right. You have to give recognition to the person who says it. So I want to thank the Lord for each and every one of you guys. And I'm just not only praying for you and wherever you are in your health journey. I found out my eyes are not literally this color. They should be about 5 shades lighter, and they've improved just from my health journey. It's been improving the color of my eyes, so you can tell a lot by your eyeballs. So as an iridologist, he can look into your eye, and he can tell you everything's going on in your body. So I'm very excited about this, and it was something that if I couldn't just keep it, he was too good to keep to myself. So I had to bring New Body Nutrition to you and all the goodies that I have. And they're like, what's this in your drawer? What are those little things in my drawers? Well, now you know what they are. And now you know one of my secrets to like staying youthful and young, and I'm still flexible. I can still do backflips, and I can still run and play and jump. I'm bungee jumping and all that good stuff. But it's because God has been good to me, and he's renewed my youth like an eagle, but he's also given me wisdom and knowledge. So if you apply the knowledge, it becomes wisdom. And if you apply this wisdom, your life will shift. And so you can get rid of those fibroids like I did. You can get rid of the cysts like I did. You can get rid of the kidney stones that were forming. You can get rid of the polyps trying to form in your breast. You can get rid of those things. And all I did was follow 3 things that he told me, and except for the one I was in trouble for, which was not drinking enough water. And I'm really working on that. So I got me some new water bottles and stuff, and I'm working on that, setting some alarms, discipline. So I want to pray for you guys. And we're going to bring him back. He's family. We're going to keep him. And I'm looking forward to what's going to come out of him in the next year. This year is going to be a big year for him. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that. You don't have the Dr. Sebi here anymore, but you have Dr. Keith Richardson. And God has sent him and preserved him for such a time as this. And we're going to make sure that we bless this man of God. So, Father, I just thank you for your love and your kindness, that you would give us everything we need in the earth and the land. Your word says in Genesis 2:1 that thus the earth was settled, which means you put everything in the earth that we needed, and it's here for us to discover. You gave us herbs, and you gave us plants, Father, and you gave us ways, Father God, to heal, Lord. You even healed, Lord Jesus, with the fig when you commanded that for Hezekiah to put it on his body. It healed his body. Father, I thank you for you giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and discipline, Father. Whatever we've been doing to our body that's been attacking our bodies, we cancel that assignment. We break early sudden death, and we bind up heart attacks, and we come against mental stresses, and we come against anger and rage that could be linked to something else, Father. Lord, things that are not good for us, mucus overtaking our body is not our portion. And we thank you for you giving us wisdom, and you giving us discipline, and giving us consistency and understanding that we could say no to the things that are harming us and say yes to new life with the things that we eat. We pray that we would be sharp. And I thank you, Father. You said that even that Moses, as he was good, he was an old man, but his eyes did not wax dim. Our eyes will not wax dim. And it says in his word that Joshua, that he was a man who had the strength of a 40-year-old when he was 80. He was good as 80 and when he was at 40. We shall be as good as 80 as we were in 40. Father, we will be strong. And I thank you, Lord, that you will renew our youth as an eagle, and you will satisfy our life with good things. Thank you for the foods you've given us. Thank you that we will take care of the land and the earth you've given us, that we will be good stewards of this body you've given us. And I release the healing power of Jesus Christ, the divine health, Father, for giving us wisdom of what to do and how to preserve and take care of our bodies and our children for generations to come, that we would have new traditions in our family, and that we would begin a new legacy of health in the name of Jesus. I thank you for ushering us into a time of divine healing and divine health, that we will still see immediate return on the investment of sowing into our life's health. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. God bless each and every one of you.